Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, July the 1st, 2024. Me and old Buster, he's the star of the show. He's over wallering in the dirt, enjoying himself. Well, let's do us a quick garden update. This old season's winding up quick now. We picked our sweet corn last week. Got a lot of it put up in the freezer. There's another picking left on it. We're going to try to pull a couple of dozen ears off of it maybe. Going to probably eat most of it over the 4th of July. We're going to boil some corn, put some butter and salt and pepper on there. Have some corn on the cob. Had to get together this weekend, so that's kind of our plan right there. And you know, that'll just about be over with. Squash over there. We're picking a good mess every other day, more we want to eat, giving some of it away. Okra, it's coming in. As you can see down there, a lot of the blooms are open. Okra needs picked right now, real bad. Every stalk I see's got something on it. Some of them good to eat, some of them a little overgrown, and some of them are just right. Don't know about my beans though. They're just looking rough. And after about that 3-week dry spell, I picked them. They were hard. And I think I might have used the word dried out last time. That really wasn't the best way to describe them. They were just hard. But they were bitter tasting. They just didn't have a good flavor to them anymore. The first ones I picked were sweet, good, soft, but these just weren't. So I really just didn't do nothing with the last picking. We ended up with about 8 jars we put up so far. We may get a little bit more, I don't know. The Jimmy Red, we got a good rain in here Thursday. A couple little small showers since then. I don't know, you know, I'm not seeing a lot of corn. There's some forming. We'll just have to see how it turns out. I don't know, you know, it's tall, but it's just frail looking. There's the beans again. You know, the rain kind of put a little color into some of them, but it's just kind of over with. Cucumbers, they still producing. We'll come down here and get us enough. We've just been eating cucumbers for, what, 2 months now, I guess, just picking out the garden. Like I said, giving some away. We didn't do any, we pickled 2 jars. You can see right there where an animal got into one of them. But they haven't got into a lot of them. The crows and the raccoons and the deer honestly haven't been much of a problem this year. And they've all affected my garden, but they haven't been devastating to it. So that's been great. You know, as I look at it, it's like, well, it's about over with. Now we'll go over to the tomatoes. Look at those. We've been pulling a lot of them Gardner 100, Gardner's favorites, off the vine. Eating a bunch of those. Give a bunch away this weekend. We've eaten quite a few green tomatoes. Are having some problem with a little bit of blossom end rot. I pulled maybe a dozen of them green hornworms off the plant every time I see something eating it. I come down here at night with my little black light, and I find a couple of them and nourish the chickens with them. But anyways, let's let her head over there to the tomatoes and peppers, and we'll just get this day started. All right, we made it over to the tomato plant. Look at this thing, I like it. It's like my little garden Eden out here in this old dry desert land. These gardener favorites here, the gardener's delight they call them, they're doing great. They're really all doing pretty good. I mean, these are the big beefs. We pulled a bunch of them. Counter up at the house is just full of tomatoes. They start blushing just a little bit, I'll pull them. Had some of them get some blossom end rot, just pull them, toss them. I've had the green hornworm up here messing with stuff. We pulled 5 or 6 of them off there. You can see right there where they got a hold of a leaf. So I come down here with my black light, done the worm search and found them. Always looking, you actually see where they leave a little poop behind. So usually when I'm looking for a bunch of leaves being eat off. I got to where a little after dark, I just come down here with my flashlight and start looking, and I just keep finding 1 or 2 of them every time I do it. I don't know about these Brandy boys. They're a big old tomato. They're really a very oddly formed one. They seem to be getting more blossom end rot than the big boys. I mean, there's some of them big boys right in there. They're pretty tomato. So I've got 3 kinds of tomatoes in here, and that's the big beefs, the Brandy boys, and the Gardener's Delight. I probably end up eating way more of the Gardener's Delight, just because I like them when they're just starting to blush a little bit. They just, to me, are just the best flavor. Peppers doing great. We got more bell peppers we know what to do with. I would love these bananas if they weren't hot, but they just turned out to be a very hot banana. You know, I'm thinking these are bells going in, but I don't know. That's about all we're getting out of them. Some of them are turning red. I want to see how they go. Bells just doing good all the way around. Jalapenos, they're doing good. We didn't plant too many of them, but we're picking quite a few of them. All right, I guess I'll wind this up right here. That's our little garden update for the day. Not a whole lot to say. We'll get in there and we'll start our next segment and go from there. I appreciate everybody that's watching. It's been an interesting year so far. Been a really good year, can't complain. I mean, we've put plenty of squash up. I mean, biggest thing was probably the blueberry harvest. It was just astronomical. We did get plenty of corn in the freezer. The okra's coming in. We're putting plenty of okra up. All in all, I mean, you know, despite this drought that happened the last few weeks, it made early. The garden made pretty early, so we're able to get a lot of stuff out. The only thing I'm gonna say is really suffered right now has been the green beans and that Jimmy Red. I'm not too sure about the Jimmy Red, and the green beans have just turned, like I said a while ago, bitter. They just don't have a good flavor to them much. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but we'll go from there. All right, stay tuned for the next one. Like and share.